Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Just wanted to take the time to start telling my story, and I really hope that this speaks to one, maybe two, maybe a few people, and I hope as we start reaching out, happy February. The love is bubbling to the surface. We've all gone through the darkness has bubbled to the surface. So we all deal with it, and that's what's going on now. But now's the time for that love to follow up and bring that harmony, that orchestra of what's meant to be in this world. I think. Um, so so just I'm gonna try and keep it very very simple. Getting to when the awakening started happening in my life, when the contradictions in my belief to start challenging my life started happening, and it's kind of a different story, I think. But I grew up. We went to my mom was Catholic, and we ended up going Baptist, and still held to those belief systems, but not quite held to the constraints of that. And What happened was, hitting around puberty, ironically to the same time I got baptized. It was in the sixth grade, I think. But at that moment, many things started happening in my life, and one of the more interesting things that's hard for me to express and explain to strangers. It's one of those things I keep locked inside, and I have to stop doing that, because I always thought it was weird. I thought it was different. I thought it um, but that but so the very first instance of this, and I'll explain to you guys. I had a dream about somebody. It was a random person. Ended up, he was a friend of my family from church. And I had a dream that I saw his body lying on the floor in a doorway. Half of his body was laying there in the doorway. And we usually, besides seeing in church, hey, how you doing? We never really, see him outside of church. Um, and then, so what happened was I had this dream. In the dream he was in a hospital, but it was just a doorway. And what happened was soon after that he was invited over to the house to watch a football game. I think the Vikings were playing, um, and he was invited over by my dad, and me and my brother were in the other room playing air hockey. And all of a sudden we heard the dogs barking and everything, and it was just kind of quiet. We didn't know. And then I looked down the hallway, and I saw his body laying on the floor, just like I'd seen in the dream. And what had happened is he had a seizure. It was common for him to have a seizure. The paramedics came. He was okay afterwards. But after that, when I had mentioned that to my mother, she had this kind of like whoa, just kind of it was just kind of like whoa, and that look from your mother is kind of like, okay, this is going to be challenging for the rest of our lives, I think. And it's and those kind of things started to continue to happen, where dreaming feelings and emotions that happen with different events, or small things, seeing people in your dreams, or coming across people in your dreams, and that happening. And it's just, so I'm smoking here. I don't know. I think this is what's really cool about what I'm seeing in this community is, people are no longer, I think, smoking is a bad habit for myself, but there are worse habits and worse characteristics out there for people to have, and I think, it's something I'm trying to quit. But at the same time, I'm not going to let that hold me back. As far as those things that are important to be focusing on, to refocus on those energies. We got to stop pretending that this is all kumbaya, la di da. Meditate and it'll be okay. I think what I'm seeing is a lot of people actually stepping up and sharing their true stories. We're not holding back the knit and the grit of spirituality, that toughness of spirituality, those contradictions that we all have with each other. That has to happen so that we can move forward on a middle ground and a middle level. And each person's story is uniquely different for each and every one of us, I think. Um, and coinciding too with those dreams that started happening, also my art changed dramatically. I started drawing like a yin and yang of God and the devil. You know, these were like the things that I had to deal with as being Christian and Baptist and everything, and saying there's something else going on here, and this is coming through in my art. What is it saying? What is it speaking? Um, and you know, and on a very very real level too. Like I said, in sixth grade I was baptized, but that's as soon as that happened too. That's when I started to realize, you know what, Chad, I think I'm attracted to guys. You know, I'm attracted, and that was a huge challenge for myself too. So all these things started happening, to be true in my life, to be challenging, and you know that beauty and what contradictions in life can present to you is a very very beautiful thing. And um, I'll get more into this in videos later, but when we go into the world of empaths and spiritual community, and even on a larger level too, you think of government and military, and how people utilize having empathic abilities, and those kind of people that you run into, and those stories that present themselves through other people too is fascinating. It's fascinating when you meet people in the military who are, you know, trained or in different places in these kind of abilities, but then I come along and then it just throws like a wedge in their beliefs and my beliefs as well. That's just the very tip of the iceberg, I'll say. But I hope that kind of gets you guys intrigued a little bit. I don't want to share all of it right now, because I think the important part is for you guys to understand the part I struggle with, and it's not quite a struggle, but when you tell people, oh yeah, I dreamt that, or I heard you say that already, and even when friends, when I'll tell them that, and they're just like, dude, bro, like, like, that's crazy. That's crazy that you just said that, because I was thinking that, and something's going on in this world, and you know, it's hard for us to explain, and but that thing is beautiful, and each person has that in some form or fashion of another. Um, so anyway, much love, guys. Again, happy February. I encourage you all to start sharing your stories too. I like what I'm seeing on here, but it's time for us to keep generating that energy by telling our stories and seeing how those common threads kind of thread our lives together in the best possible ways, and how we relate to each other. Um, I guess that's it for now. Much love, guys. Peace.